What's up, guys? It's another episode of Off the Post. I'm your host, Red Cap, and we're doing a U.S. Women's National Team recap. As you know, I haven't been here for a few episodes. I've been dealing with some eye issues, so I haven't been able to see real well. I've been running around with one contact here, one contact there, nearly crashed into places. Oh, yeah, and it's stupid Detroit. I got a rant about that city, too, but we'll hold that for later, and I won't get so angry. But let's just go and see what our panel's been up to over the last 2 days. I'm guessing watch this U.S. Women's National Team games and sleeping and eating. We're going to start with you first, Karen. What's been up?
Nothing. I've been at work. I worked in the back this morning at my job, and now I'm like covered in pieces of tape, and I don't know if I'm ever going to not have tape coming off of my body somewhere. I don't know how it happened, but that's what I have to deal with at work now, is a lot of tape.
I'm sorry.
You get tape all over me. I look like a birthday present that a small child wrapped. So
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say. Moving on, Jen Carl, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I haven't been doing any of that sleeping or eating thing, so I don't know what life you live. But that's okay. I've also been at work like nonstop, but I'm not at work right now, which is glorious. This is the first show I've done in a while where I haven't been in my work office, so I'm feeling pretty grand.
Well, see, at least somebody's kind of happy right now. Danielle, what's been up?
It's been a couple days, so I watched the game yesterday, worked today. That's about it.
All right.
Nice and boring.
Fair enough. The normal life, no tape.
Yeah. No tape involved.
No tape involved. As you know, if you want to say anything to us, you can use the hashtag wosotalk, or you can use the hashtag don't put your car in Detroit because bad things will happen. But we will talk about that at a later date. That's true. I'm telling you, it's the truth, people. Okay, but I'm so angry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting that One Direction mood, people. As you know, I haven't been on for a while, so I have a few rants up my sleeve, even though I'm wearing short sleeves, and I'm going to complain about. So if these girls don't have any rants, I'm going to be complaining a lot today. Let's move on, though. As you know, like I said, you can talk to us, and on Facebook, if you say something, I'll go check that when I get the chance. But let's jump into this Haiti versus U.S. Women's National Team game. I was able to see the one on September 17th, Thursday, in Detroit. It was all right. I mean, it was fun to go to a game, but I can't say I was focused in. I started daydreaming during about the 65th minute or so and just start looking around, watching people and listening to what the fans were yelling. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. And then afterwards, the fans started to charge and fight for autographs, and then I tried to slip out quietly. But I couldn't because they were blocking my way. But that's enough about that game. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, first, Karen, I'm going to ask you, since you didn't get to say this in the last episode since you weren't there. What was your view on Haiti being chosen as the team to play Australia?
I think it's really good for Haiti. If you really think about how much exposure they got in the last two games, and I think they got to stay in like really nice hotels, which is like I guess that's more of like a shallow thing, but not for them. I mean, that's super exciting for them. But I think it's really good exposure for them. I think their coach made some really good decisions. He was starting to put out their younger players and getting them some playing time. And no matter what team you are, if you're playing against the #1 team in the world, you're gonna learn a whole bunch. So I think that was really good for them. Obviously they got whooped, so not that anybody was expecting anything different, but I don't think they were either. So I think it was just like a really good learning experience for them. But for the U.S., I don't think it was like beneficial, even slightly, probably. But whatever, cool.
Danielle, did your expectations change this game? Or were you expecting another butt whooping?
Oh, I was expecting another butt whooping, but I expected, us to have a little more chemistry. I was actually worried that Haiti wasn't going to have, I thought they were going to struggle because of the heat, because of the conditioning, the not deep bench. But I thought they played pretty decent. I mean, their goalkeeper was great. So, same expectations as the last game, though.
And Danielle, did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah,
not Danielle, Jen Carl, my mistake. Sorry.
I thought you were just asking me twice, and I was going with the flow.
I'll answer twice, no problem.
It's been a while. I'm sorry, guys.
Getting a little rusty on us, CJ. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that they would pull the Costa Rica and at least get one in, but that wasn't going to happen. I didn't really expect it to happen, even though I wanted it to. So I definitely think it lived up to my expectations. They did play very well, considering. So it's kind of how I expected it to go down.
Yeah, it was the same way, really. When at the first game when I came in right on time too. Right when I sat down, the game kicked off. I was just looking at this like, well, I wish this was Australia because I know it's about to happen here. But I guess I was looking for the scoreline from last game to be more like this game, as if it really matters. A blowout in soccer is pretty much a blowout. But it was at one point where I know like I wasn't expecting much because in that game there was one point where the ball never came down to Ashlyn. I was watching her just move farther up the pitch and just stand there pictures of Ashlyn because I got bored. And it was just the game was played on one side of the field. It was almost like a scrimmage. So I was expecting more of the same, maybe just to see a bit of different roster lineups or whatever, see certain people playing. I didn't know who was going to play exactly because I remember they kept saying Pino was having an issue, so I was unsure. I guess we'll go with you, Karen, on that. What were you expecting with the lineup?
I was expecting her to pretty much start it similar to the way that she started last game. KO in at left back. Figured she would be replaced by Krieger again. Figured they'd give either Hope or Ashlyn the start and then put Alyssa in the second half. I pretty much guessed about Alex Morgan because they want to get her a lot of minutes. They want to get her some playing time and get her some confidence. So I figured on that. I didn't know what they were going to do with the midfield. I didn't know if Lloyd would be sitting out or what. It was definitely a surprise to see Brune in center mid. I know that like at the end of the last game they kind of subbed her or they moved her and did all this other subbing stuff that I wasn't paying attention to because I was like, wait, what? Why is she in the midfield? I don't understand. But I mean, she did awesome. But that I feel like you could put her anywhere and she would do awesome because she's Brune. But having her start there this game, I was like, what? I hope that you're not like gonna keep her there for the Olympics or what. I know that she's trying to experiment, but I don't know if that's a good idea. But yeah, besides that, I figured they were just gonna be everybody all over the place. I didn't know if Pino was gonna play. I was glad to see her play because she's super awesome. But yeah, it was pretty much what I expected from the lineup. A lot of subs, a lot of players playing that don't usually get to play like Engen, so that was exciting.
Daniel, what were your thoughts on the Brune experiment in midfield?
I liked it more the first game when it was a sub. I didn't like her starting because it makes me nervous because I really feel like Ellis would make her a permanent. I mean, we all watched what happened with Holiday becoming permanent in that role. So I'm not a fan because I think when you have the best center back in the world, you keep her as a center back, especially since JJ, that's her natural position. So why wouldn't you put JJ into that? Thought. I get it, but I think I hope we don't see it in the Brazil games, basically.
No, I thought the exact same thing. I was thinking, why isn't JJ there and you keep, like I said, the world-class center back in her position to be world-class? It was so weird to see her do that. Even as an experimental thing, game where it would come down to it where you would need to plug her in there. I think it would be JJ first, and if you really had to go deep into your bench and plug someone else in there, you've already, I guess, experimented with Tobin in that position, so you'd end up throwing her next or something like that. But it was just weird. I didn't really understand, but Ellis is just being Ellis again, so we should be used to these type of things. She's going back to normal after the World Cup. She's coming back to what she was. And I guess, Jen Carl, will let you brag about Crystal Dunn for a little bit, right?
I always love bragging about Crystal Dunn. I think the fact that she has only played 2 games and scored a goal in each, like that says a lot. Granted, they were against Haiti, but still, I mean, that speaks volumes about Crystal Dunn and, you know, just her resilience this whole season, having, again, as everybody keeps saying, been cut from the World Cup roster. I think her resilience has just been amazing. She's coming back so strong, and it's phenomenal to watch. And I'm so proud of her and feel like a proud spirit mama over here. But, yeah, she's just been great. So definitely good for her. She keeps racking up the goals and assists. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that she should be on the Olympic roster.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think it's funny when we hear them talking during the game saying, oh, Crystal Dunn probably pick. It's like there's not even probably anymore. She needs to be on that roster. And if she isn't, there's going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know about the whole Abby situation since she's not even playing for club team anymore. I guess she's just a national team player. I've never heard of a player doing that, just being a straight national team player. So let's see how long that goes before someone else starts to complain about it and say it's not fair. But that's an issue for another day. But, I know that's going to be an issue on the Tumblr or the Twitter. So I'm not even going to get into it. I'll let you guys argue amongst yourselves on that. But Dunn definitely has to be there. I mean, just why even though you can see the class she has and how good of a player she's become just over that one season in the NWSL where she was angry about not getting picked on that World Cup roster. So stay angry, Crystal Dunn. We love you that way. Let's jump into the first and half of the game. Then we'll talk about the second half and a few of the substitutions. We're going to go a few, Danielle. What were your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I thought the chemistry really was coming together, especially compared to the Detroit game. So I enjoyed seeing that. I kind of enjoyed the fact that they did a 4-5-1 because it was very different than what we always do. So it was nice to get a little variety. The goals came early. In fact, the first goal happened before I was even able to find a stream, so I missed a JJ goal, which is very, very frustrating for me. But yeah, I thought it was a good half. I was a little concerned because I thought Alex Morgan looked really rusty and not 100%, but I know that's why she's on there to get to 100%. But that was something that stuck out. But, I mean, Carli scored a hat trick within, 20 minutes, basically. She can't miss at this point. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was a good first half. I was happy.
Jen Carl, your thoughts on the first half?
I kind of agree. The chemistry was a little bit nicer. I don't know what exactly the reason for that was. I think for some reason for me, it always seems like when you have Christy Rampone in there, for some reason the chemistry connects a little bit better. I don't know if that's accurate or not. That's just something that I seem to notice. But yeah, Carli Lloyd's hat trick, that puts her up in a very high rank there. She's fifth or sixth on the U.S. women's national team to score that many hat tricks. So good for her on that. Nice to see another JJ goal, of course. I was kind of hoping her headband would explode again. And I thought KO had a fantastic first half. She just kind of seemed to be everywhere, and it was amazing to get to see her do that on the international stage again, rather than just how well she's been playing in the NWSL, if I could say the letters properly. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a pretty good half.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, your thoughts on KO since you got happy when she mentioned her?
I love her so much. Yeah, she had such a good first half. And I think just in general, KO, just because she is so good playing positions all over the field, no matter where you put her, she's going to make a difference. And there are those certain players that I really want to see them do really, really well on this victory tour because I want them on that Olympic roster. She's one of them. And Heo is another one. And obviously Crystal Dunn, but I mean, I think she's kind of a shoo-in, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, KO, I think having Rapinoe in there definitely helped with the chemistry too. She just has that really good flow in the middle. And I think Morgan Bryan maybe had a little bit of a slower game than she usually has. But when you have 5 midfielders, it kind of just like, I don't know, they kind of just did her work for her while she was having her slow moments. So, and I mean, obviously, Carli Lloyd is ridiculous. So there's that. And I don't even know if I can tell you all of the people that were in midfield because 5 is too many people. I can't.
Oh, it seemed like everyone, even
the whole team.
It was just like interchanging.
Yeah, the entire team was coming off the bench and going onto the field and who had goals at one point. It felt like so. I don't know, but it was a really good first half. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I liked watching the chemistry between the players. Yeah, good first half.
Now I have a question because this is something I've seen popped up. Like I've seen it pop up before earlier, a long time ago. I think it was with the Portland Thorns, and it's starting to pop back up again. It's talking about Alex Morgan, so you know these are always lightning rod questions. So don't get yourself hated by a bunch of fans by answering this question, people. Whoever wants to answer it. So people were saying in this formation, which I love this formation, my favorite formation, most FIFA games, so to speak, and just in general, this with how the midfielders are set up, because I think it's perfect. It helps defense-wise. You know, you have people covering, and then you have just the perfect amount of attacking players if necessary, and you can just flip it up and interchange it as you need to. People were saying Alex Morgan playing up top as a one in this formation by herself, that she struggles playing by herself up top, so to speak. I guess I'll go to you, Jen Carl. Let's let you have a shot at it. Do you think Alex Morgan struggles in this formation that we're playing right now, or is it something else with her going on?
I don't. The only time I've seen her play in this formation was like when she was right off an injury. So that's such a tough call to make because she's struggling for other reasons.
Yep.
So I think we'd have to see her at 100% to really make that kind of call with her. You know, does she struggle up there? Yes, but again, it's for one reason or another. I don't necessarily know that the formation is the problem because the midfield doesn't really have issues connecting with the forward when there's 5 of them to make the connection. You know, and Alex did get a goal. So I don't know that I can attribute her struggling to the formation. I think that's a call I have to make when she's 100%, and she just hasn't been in a while.
Yep. And Danielle, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, it's the, you know, like Jen said, she's been injured so much that she's not been 100% when we've seen her in the formation, so it's really hard to tell. And when Alex Morgan has been in top form, you know, it's the times like the Olympics and all that, and then it's, you know, 4-4-2, and she's with Abby, so you can't really, you know, there's no good basis there. You can't really make a decision or an opinion.
Yeah, I've seen that pop up, and I'm just like, well, I think she's been kind of hurt lately, so we really can't decide. But some Morgan fans are I guess, going to start toting that.
There's also the fact that, I mean, I was watching her pretty closely because, it was one of those games where you're not really on edge, so you can actually watch certain players. I was watching, and she had some really good runs that she was making. She also was pressuring the ball a lot, which I think with some forwards, maybe not on that particular team, but with some forwards, they kind of just hang out. But she wasn't doing that. She was definitely pressuring. So she knows what she has to do, and she knows where she has to be. I think it's just those injuries, like they've both said. Once she's 100%, I think we're going to start seeing her in that top form, like when she scored 2 goals against France in that friendly. So I think it's just those injuries that are causing problems. She's probably just a little bit rusty. But, I think she had a pretty good game for the minutes that she got. And she played a full game, so that was exciting for her.
Yeah, I think so, too. It's so weird with her, just all those injuries. And I start thinking of the German Ballon d'Or winner, Nadine Kessler, I believe it is. She had like 8 knee surgery, so it's just, it could happen to a great player. They're just constantly injured, and they never reach that potential. But hopefully it doesn't happen, and she gets healthy. So I was kind of worried with all those hits she was taking out there. I was like, oh boy. Start getting cringeworthy. But let's go on to the second half, guys. We will start with, let's see, what do I want to start with? I guess we'll start with Danielle, because I think A-Rod, we got a little A-Rod, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, overall, I thought I was kind of bored again during the second half. You know, when you go into second half leading 5-0, there's not really a lot of excitement and all that, except for in the 51st minute when Amy Joy Rodriguez-Schilling scored a beautiful goal and warmed my little heart. Because it was power, you know. Sometimes when A-Rod scores, she doesn't like to score the easy goals. She likes to make it about 100% more difficult for herself, so she'll juggle on the box. But this was pure power, so it really brightened my day. So that was nice, and then Heyo got a goal as well, so that was good for me. And then Alex's goal was great. Finally got that, burden off her shoulders, so that was nice. I think it was Whitney Engen had a great flick to her. Yeah. It was phenomenal. So that was really fun. So I was bored, but I thought the 3 goals were, they were fun to watch. So that was good.
Jen Carl, anything in that second half make you pay attention, or did you take a nap too?
I wish I would have taken a nap. No, Whitney Engen, for me, like, when she went on, I was like, oh, hey, Whitney Engen's playing. Oh, hey, Whitney Engen just got an assist. Nice. So, that was kind of cool, just because I'm not used to seeing her ever. So that was exciting. And Heo, I feel like Heo's goal was both a lot of skill from our team, but also just pure luck that it happened to just, like, magically land at her feet. And she was like, oh, I'm just going to take this. And, So, like Danielle said, all 3 of the goals were fun to watch, which is nice. We're used to seeing, maybe some scrappy goals when the U.S. plays larger teams, the exception being Japan, because that was really fun to watch, too. But yeah. Other than that, we're used to seeing maybe some scrappier goals, maybe some, Abby happened to be in the right place at the right time and flick that in with God only knows what to, make something happen when it shouldn't have. So it was nice to see just some fun goals from the U.S.
And Karen, your thoughts on that second half?
Yeah, I mean, it was. Besides the couple of fun goals that everybody talked about, it was just so slow and, well, okay, not slow because they were connecting and they were having some really good plays going on, but I don't know. Like, when you win 8-0, it's really hard to have anything bad to say about the team, but there were some times where I was just like, the goal is right in front of you, and I know I can say that because I'm sitting on my ass watching you play right now.
This is true.
But, like, there are just these moments where it's just like, it was right there. You guys need to just do that. Like, you're playing against Haiti, so it's going to be 8-0, and, like, I was celebrating with everybody and stuff, but there were just these moments where I was just like, all right. When the goal's right in front of you and the goalkeeper isn't between you and the goal, the ball needs to go in the goal.
The basic man.
If it doesn't, you're not doing your job. So there were just moments like that where it made me a little bit like, okay, they need to work on their finishing. But, I mean, so does every team on every surface in every tournament. So it's just something, they're humans. But yeah, just that's the only note that I had about second half was the finishing. Other than that, it was just kind of boring. And I should have taken a nap too, I think.
Yeah, the second half was what it was. I guess I was just more so just waiting for the end to be near because I didn't want Haiti to suffer anymore. Only thing I guess I'll really say about what I wanted to see in the second half was maybe a shift in the players where they were playing at. Maybe move Bruin to the back, move Engen to the back, and then throw JJ in that center defensive mid position. You might as well develop those two, or develop Engen, I guess, with Bruin if you're looking for a CDM. And, hey, JJ actually can play that position. But that was the only thing I was looking for. Other than that, it didn't keep much of my interest because, I mean, I had watched it before and I was watching a repeat of it again, but just a little bit more brutal this time. Just a matter of counting players laid on the ground and how long. So that's all I really did the second half. Substitutions, substitutions really amaze you? We'll go with you first here, girl.
Amazed, I don't think is the right word because it is the victory tour, so we've been seeing a lot of rotation among players. Happy to see Nair get in there. I was happy to see Engen get in there. Players we really have not seen a whole lot of. Heo, of course, is always a great sub. And Krieger, I'm always happy when Krieger goes in. A-Rod was a good sub too. And Boxy, she's retiring, so she's kind of getting her last hurrah in there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I expect from the subs at this point, just trying to rotate all of the players throughout this victory tour. So that was cool. But the fact that Crystal Dunn now has played 90 minutes both games does make me happy.
Sound just like that Spirit fan, don't you? Danielle, overall thoughts on the game?
The game, I thought it was exactly what to expect from a victory tour. Substitutions, everything. Just get there, make the fans happy, let them scream while,
Let them scream.
I mean,
That's
am I
true.
wrong? Like, let
That's
them
true.
cheer. The ball goes near Hope Solo. We all yell. Yay! So, I mean, it's exactly what you expect from one of these games. So,
Yeah.
the fans got what they want. They got 8 goals. No one got injured. People got minutes. So, that's my feeling for the game. My beer ran out before the second half, so that was the saddest part. But, yeah, there we go.
Jen Carl, overall thoughts on the game?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, the highlight of the game was actually before the game even started, when they did Tobin Heath's 100 calf celebration. I was super stoked about that. Kind of disappointed that she didn't get to play, but she was injured, so I knew that was coming. But other than that, I mean, the game was expected. It wasn't really anything out of the ordinary for me. Like Danielle said, it's pretty much at this point about letting the fans scream. I feel like the ball only has to go like halfway to Hope Solo and people are screaming now. So, yeah.
I was going to say, it did it to Nair once, and I think the fans were still confused because they screamed and the ball went near her.
Wait.
And I felt really bad, but I was like, Hope's not there. Why are you screaming like a little kid? I would, because I love Alyssa Nair, but...
Yeah. But I feel like that's, a big part of what this victory tour is. Just, little children trampling people and yelling and, more people than not running out of beer. So it was exactly what I anticipated.
And Karen, let's see that you run out of beer. Your overall thoughts on the victory tour scream fest?
I wasn't drinking beer, and I regret it. It was so hot. I was just hydrating with water because it was like 105 degrees here, and I was just like, no, water. Nothing else will do. But I think it was like, 35,000 something hundred blah, blah, blah people went to this game, which is a huge number, I think, for Alabama, which isn't particularly a soccer-heavy state in this great country of ours. They're huge football people. You can get 35,000 whatever, 100 and whatever people to go to a soccer game. That's intense. That's awesome. But besides that was the thing I was most excited about for the entire game, pretty much. But besides that, it was good to see Megan Rapinoe not actually hurt because I'm a Reign fan. So it was good to actually see her play and be like, she's okay, we're fine. But I mean, it was a good game. It had its moments where it was really slow and boring. It was good to see so many people get goals except for Carli Lloyd, who had 3. So, I mean, okay, Carli. But yeah, it was a good game. It was fun. I enjoyed it for the most part, like I always do. Yeah.
As you know, the title of this episode is Carli Can't Stop Scoring. That theme has been with this team. She just seems to score no matter what. It was just like headers, left foot, right foot, off the stomach, handballs that they don't see. It doesn't matter. Carli Lloyd scores goals, I guess. So that's always cool. The screaming thing is funny because I didn't think about that, but every time it happens when I watch these games, I just kind of shake my head like, here it comes. Ah! Yep, Hope is touching the ball. Ah! Hope is touching the ball again. I'm like, I guess you got to scream because she'll barely have any action. So
I want to see them do a commercial where she, goes into, Starbucks or something, and every time she picks up her cup, everybody in the Starbucks is like, ah!
And see, there you go. You need to work for and get them commercials and stuff. That would be perfect. That's a really good commercial. But,
maybe if I work for Sports Center, they'll cover more women's sports.
Oh, they don't know what women's sports is, Sports Center, so you might as well keep trying with that. But yeah, it's the truth. It was what I expected. Wasn't much more. You watch the formation, you see some of the players you like. You can see them run out there for a good 40 or 44 minutes or so, 45 minutes, and then you see a bunch of other players get their goals. People do their little celebrations. You see JJ needs to work on her celebrations. I see you, JJ, but you got to work on that, the little flying bird thing. But it's all right. It happens. It happens. See, that's what everyone thought too.
It was her boyfriend. That was cute.
Great. Oh, the Eagles thing? Okay, I get it.
He plays for the Eagles, so that was for him.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I just thought she got into that moment where where someone when they score and they don't know what to do, so they're just like,
I'm gonna fly away like a bird.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She's like, oh, do something real quick. That's what I was like, all right. I guess if that's what came to mind, then go for it.
Oh.
Now that makes sense, Dad. Yeah, I appreciate it because. Okay,
Giving
so she didn't
context to celebration goals.
Right. So she didn't get caught. Well, other than that, wasn't much to say. I'm more so looking forward because, like I said, I was looking forward to Australia, which I will complain about. But I'm with you, Aussies. Our hearts are with you, and Michelle Heyman in San Francisco. But neither here nor there. So let's move on to talk about the next games we're going to see that are going to be some good ones. Victory tour against Brazil, correct? And I guess expectations are a little bit higher because we're going to play a little bit better competition. We're going to start with you, Karen. Your thoughts on the next Victory Tour games? Call-ups, anything. What do you want to say?
I feel like, well, I think the roster is not going to change between now and then, honestly. But maybe she'll prove me wrong and put people like McCaffrey or Mewis or blah, blah, blah in there, but I don't think so. I think they're just going to keep the Victory Tour with these people. But Brazil is going to bring it. I'm calling it right now. They're definitely going to bring it. They have a lot to prove because they didn't really perform well in the World Cup. And I think they just lost to France, right? Wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just lost to France. So they're going to want to bring it. They're playing against the #1 team. We kind of have that rivalry going on ever since the last World Cup. So it's going to be awesome. I know it's going to be an exciting game to watch. You're going to have players like Marta in there, and she is always super, super exciting to watch. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be totally different from Haiti. It's going to be totally different from Costa Rica. We're definitely going to see a more safe lineup maybe from the U.S. I don't think we're going to see 5 midfielders. And I don't think we're going to see the flank defenders coming up so much because they won't be able to. But other than that, it's going to be exciting. I'm super excited to see a way better matchup than the last 4 games for sure. But I think we're going to win. But I think it's going to be a way more exciting game.
Can somebody do an age check on Marta? How old is she? She's been around forever. I just was thinking that when you mentioned her. What?
She's only like
young.
Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, no. And then I looked it up on another site that wasn't Wikipedia just in case, and I was like, no. But it's true. She's only 28.
All right, I'm gonna go on Wikipedia and change that. Jen, your expectations for the for the Brazil games and lineups or call-ups you're looking forward to?
I'm not really looking for any call-ups. The only one I really wouldn't be surprised about would be Ali Long, just because I think you wish that on us, TJ. But other than that, I mean, from Brazil, I kind of always expect someone to get punched in the face when we play Brazil. I don't know why. But I'll be watching for that. I kind of agree with Karen. I think it's just going to be a much safer lineup. I don't think we're going to be doing as much experimentation. It's going to be very straightforward. Okay, we're going to have Hope in goal, and it's going to be Hope in goal for 90 minutes. Just very similar to kind of what we saw in the World Cup, I think. The one switch up that might change from the World Cup is that we have Crystal Dunn in there now. So I'd like to see her play against Brazil because she hasn't been tested yet against Haiti. I'd like to see her get that test against Brazil. But other than that, yeah, I do expect us to win, but I think it's going to be much more exciting. I think it's going to be tougher for us to step in and fill our role as the #1 team in the world there.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I keep begging for is maybe to see a keeper change to have a keeper in the first half, and then if push comes to shove, you can throw Hope out there in the second half. But I don't think it's ever going to happen, so I'll stop asking for that. Just won't see Nair start a game or Harris start a game, will we? Danielle, anything you're looking forward to?
Like they said, I think it's going to be a better game to watch. I think it'll be more exciting if Marta's there. Whether she has a good game or not, there's so much focus on her that it kind of makes it exciting. But yeah, like everyone said, I think that it will be a safer lineup, which I don't think's a bad thing in U.S. Soccer's eyes, because it's kind of a fan service lineup as well. Hope and goal, everyone where they're supposed to be, no experimentation. I think it's going to be a safe lineup. But I would like to see, a little more competitive. So I'm sorry to bash Abby, but, I don't want to see Abby start. I want to see maybe the future. So see what we do there. I don't know. It will be exciting no matter what.
I guess we'll go back to you, Karen. Would you like to see Abby start?
No, I don't think so. I love her. I love her to death. I really do. She's awesome. But I also like seeing her at the beginning of the games in her little penny, doing the whole huddle, and then she just takes over. It's so funny to me. I just crack up. But I like having, like Danielle said, I think moving the future of the forward line into the position during the Brazil games, especially because they're going to need that against a team like Brazil. It's really good practice. I don't think anybody on the team was getting practice really in Costa Rica versus Haiti. Maybe if you were scrimmaging, and that sounds really bad, but it's the truth. It's not that high level intensity and rivalry that Brazil's going to be. So I'd like to see more people like Morgan, Press, A-Rod, see them getting up there. If Ellis decides she wants to try Crystal Dunn up there instead of in midfield, she can do that too. But yeah, I don't know if I would start Abby. You can put her in the last 15, 20 minutes if you want to, especially if we're winning or if we need that last gasp, crazy, ridiculous header that she seems to do so well. But starting her, no.
That makes sense then. So we don't want Abby to be on the team anymore. That's what it sounds like a unanimous decision. All right, here is some thoughts that we have from Twitter. This is from J.L. Hayes. You may know her as Jen Hayes, the creator of Jen Hayes Rants that I created. Her 3 thoughts on the 2 games. Lloyd is awesome. Dunn deserves more playing time, and Heath is wasted at DM. Also, Jen Hayes said, it's a bummer that Tobin got injured the day before the second game and wasn't able to wear the armband. All right. Some good thoughts from Jen Hayes on Tobin Heath. And Dunn did play 90 minutes. Thank you. So I guess that's that for the games. We will be looking forward to, I guess, some more competitive games. But it's my favorite time since I've been a very, very angry person lately. The rant section. I will let Danielle go first. Do you have any rants other than beer?
It was a good beer, so I was sad. No, I mean, I think I ranted a lot on Saturday, and I felt really good, and I felt better after seeing it. My only thing is, and I noticed both ESPN and Fox did the same thing, and everyone's doing it. When they talk about the Olympics, everyone keeps talking about cutting players.
Yep.
We got to cut so many. I hate looking at it like that. I think players have to earn their spots. I don't think they should ever be given. I think... Obviously, obviously they're going to make the spot, but I hate the idea of who are we going to cut. I think they have to earn the spots, and so I wish that people like Foudy and people who have such experience with soccer and how teams work might be able to say it a little better. It's silly, but it's kind of bugged me a little bit.
It's a good rant.
Yeah, it's not like Saturday, but
They did get the job done. I'll give you that. That's a beer fan. Anything you want?
I personally don't have a rant. Life's really grand at the moment, so I'm good. But I promised Courtney that I'd rant for her, so I'm not going to be nearly as angry as she would. I promise. But I'm just not an angry person. Yeah, Brune getting Defender of the Year. You know, in my eyes, I said this on Saturday, she's the best defender in the world. So were it a national team Defender of the Year, yeah, fantastic. You know, absolutely, she was. She was one of the main reasons why we won the World Cup, in my opinion. But NWSL, she didn't play a whole lot. So she missed a major chunk of the season because of the World Cup. Granted, that obviously wasn't her fault, but I mean, to give a national team player an NWSL award this year kind of seems a little bit, I don't know, just not a fan of that. Give it to, you know, one of the other defenders who, like Megan Oyster, who got shafted for Rookie of the Year. You know, like someone else filled into the role.
That's what I was thinking, Danielle.
But yeah, that's Courtney's rant through me. She's living vicariously through me right now.
But I did like Becky's reaction. Did you that screen cap of her letter? That was sweet,
Yeah.
and I had heart eyes. She's so great. I love her so much.
Such a perfect human being. I love her so much. That was like the perfect thing to have said.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She's amazing. She's absolutely phenomenal. I love her to death. But again, I feel like maybe someone who played the full season in the NWSL should have gotten the award.
No, my choice was who Danielle said when I saw that. I was like, all right, I can understand give it to Brune just because people know, you know, she blah blah blah. Brune's always good, but I thought Lepelbit had a great season. I thought she was just top. Like to me, that was the best defender for me for just how she played or whatever. Just every time I watched her, she was just shutting down everything, just reading the play well. Lepelbit had such a great season, and it was just such a shame that the votes didn't get to her or whatever happened. She just didn't get the award. So.
Yeah, FCKC named her MVP of the season. I mean, she had probably the best season of her life. It was great
easily.
to watch.
Yeah, I agree. She should. Did she even make the? Did they show the best 11 yet? Or I don't know. No.
They haven't.
No.
Okay, because I hope that she makes that at the very least, and if not, then I hope that Allie Long trolls everyone that makes it. So either way.
All 11.
Everyone's angry. Karen, your rants.
Allie Long. No, just kidding. I was actually going to say there's no chocolate in my house, and that really upsets me right now. And that's coupled with the fact that I'm too lazy to drive to the store to buy some. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, I just want some chocolate. That's my rant. I just really want some chocolate.
No.
Yeah, sorry. It's not even slightly related to soccer. I just really want some chocolate right now.
Mine, I guess, is related to soccer, so to speak. So now it's time for DJ. Let's have a moment, fans. We're going to the DJ Redcap Lounge, so take a seat and relax. So what happened to me when I went to the Detroit game was I had a great time. I drove into a parking structure that was $8 and parked on the 4th level because that was the only place I can get a space. And I parked between a nice car and another nice car. And I parked my old little piece of junk right in between both of them, thinking that nothing to go wrong in this city, because if you're going to pick on any cars, you're going to pick from the good cars, right? So I walk into the game, my little nice shirt on, little khaki pants, go down, watch the game, buy a little, stuff cost me about $50. I do have this to give away. I think I'm going to give this away. I'm not sure. Should I keep it for myself or give it away yet? Because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, to be honest. So if anybody wants that, tell me why you deserve it, and I might give it All right, fair enough. Because I'm like, I want to give it away. I guess I don't really have any use for it. But then, so I walk away with my little expensive stuff from that game. And I go back to my car and I turn it on. And for some reason, my car is a lot louder. What could it be? So I decide to go hang out a bit more, and I drive home in the morning, go over to Canada, and then I drive back across the border, and the Border Patrol guy is looking at me funny because my car is so much louder. And then I say, well, let me go over to my grandmother's house, and then I stop there, and then I look under my car. Well, guess what? You know that thing called a catalytic converter? Well, mine was gone. Someone took mine in the 2 hours I was at the Detroit game. So if you've seen a catalytic converter for a Ford bag, and please return it back to the home of Dwayne Johnson in Waterford, Michigan. I'll give you my address and phone number if necessary. But someone cut it right off my car. My mechanic told me, he said, yeah, it looks like someone cut the thing off. Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, they cut it right off there. And I was like, well, isn't that great? So you're picking on the poor people in this world. And so that sucked. Other than that, yeah, other bad stuff's been happening. But that was the thing that really pissed me off because I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see it or whatever when it happened because my eyes were messed up to begin with. And some mechanic really got under there, and he was like, yeah, they cut it perfectly. Oh, man, where have you been at? Oh, I'm just down in the city. So I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. I'm angry. But other than that, I do have this nice thing to give away. But that's my rant. So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. There it is. Ah, it feels so good.
There you go.
But other than that, I don't have any One Direction rants yet anymore. I'll talk about them later in the year or anything like that. But I think that's everything. So you girls, anything else you want to say? Anyone else? Any comments, concerns, issues?
Yes.
Catalytic converters.
I would like to amend my previous statement. Courtney is really not an angry person either. So, my bad.
Oh, I saw the woso talk. Uh-oh.
She's not angry either. I'm just significantly less angry than most people. My threshold is like down here, and normal people is like here. So, you know, my bad, Courtney.
Well, since Courtney is watching, it's time to mess with her. She hates me, so she's always angry towards me. All right, well, that's another episode of Off the Pole. She's going to get me for it. I'm your host, DJ Redcap, and I guess I'll be out here looking on these streets to cut from another person's car. I will talk to you guys in a couple of days. Maybe we'll talk about some the whole FIFA with the women's teams. Maybe I'll get on and do a little quick show about that. But I know it's like probably going to be about 10 days, so then we're going to talk final Kansas versus Reign. I see a Reign fan. I see a FC Kansas City fan. Ooh. And then we're going to talk about stuff after that. And then we will show you what the future of this show will be during the cold, cold months of no NWSL action. But that's for another time. I guess, you know, I don't even want to wave this today. You know what I want to do? Since it's in context now, let's all just flap our wings now for the Eagles. You know?
Oh, okay. I thought you were
This
going
one's
to
for
say
you, JJ. This one's for you, JJ. Take care and bye-bye, everyone.